We will start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to take a break.
I asked Councilor Gerasi if we...
Oh, I thought you said that's why I came over to talk.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought you said you guys were taking a break.
No, I asked Mr. Gerasi if he needed one.
Okay.
He said he did not. We got a big agenda tonight. You didn't jump up and run by. So, yes, you are. We have next thing on the agenda is the adoption of minutes. Can I get a motion to adopt the March 7th minutes?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just take turns all night like that and make it easier. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Minutes are adopted. Next on the agenda, public hearing I'd like to open a public hearing for the solar farm moratorium.
I'll move that. I'll second it.
Okay, at 6:33, we have opened the public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak about the solar farm moratorium? And because we're just extending this, I'm going to preface that we're just moving it out for 6 more months. We don't have our law finished yet to put it in place, so that's why we're extending this. We haven't had a chance to sit down and meet, so that's why. Is there anything new? Yeah. Yes.
My name is Sean Brazo.
If you could come up to the microphone, please, just for the clerk. You might have to turn the microphone on. There's a little switch.
No one ever accused me of not being loud.
There you go.
My name is Sean Brazo. I'm not from town. I'm a solar developer. It has been useful in conversations I've had with other towns that are going through exactly the same process to let you know that there are hosting capacity maps that the utility makes available publicly. And just so you're aware, you have room in town based on those hosting capacity maps really for 1.5 community solar projects. So about 7.5 megawatts AC of capacity to inject into the grid. You have very limited opportunity for any developer, myself or anyone else, to come through and propose solar farms within your town limits. Often people extend these solar moratoriums because they think they're going to be overrun. It'd be impossible to overrun the town, but because there's very limited interconnection and then very limited space that's suitable for solar. So you may want to just take that, keep that in mind as you're developing your laws, because you're not going to have to deal with many proposals when push comes to shove.
Are those maps available?
Those are publicly available, from National Grid. And I'm happy to, have my technical people reach out with a link and even provide you whatever assistance I could render. We're looking to find towns that are a good fit for the type of solar that we develop. Not every town is, but happy to provide the benefit of any experience that we have doing this all over upstate New York.
That'd be appreciated. One of the reasons with our moratorium, we passed the solar law 5-6 years ago. That's a while ago.
Yeah, 2017, 2018, something like that.
We found some issues with screening and setbacks, and so that was one of the primary reasons for the moratorium. And we had an influx of asks at the point in time, and we just said we got to slow down before we end up with them.
No, I totally respect the process. Just want to, make sure that you're aware of that resource. Most towns, for some reason, are unaware of it.
Do you have a card, Sean?
Yeah, I have some in my agenda. I'd be happy to. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on the battery storage or the solar farm moratorium? Fred, come up to the microphone.
Fred Birch, Plainville Road. I haven't talked to everybody in the town of Lysander, but I make it a habit of talking to hundreds of people as often as I can. I call every single day. I talk to neighbors. I stop and talk to people working on projects. And the concern in this community isn't about injecting more kilowatts that we don't use, that get sent down to New York City that we don't use. I think the concern is whether the solar project is going to do us dirty like they did on Church Road.
Fred, you're addressing the point.
Which is unbelievable eyesore. That winter fencing flaps all day long because it's not tied down at the bottom. The solar panels stick up higher than the fencing. You used to live across the street from that. I mean, it wasn't built at that time, but I'm embarrassed. I feel bad for the people that live there now. They have to look at that every single day. And I'm not against renewable energy. If we can do it, and it's not an eyesore to our community, have at it. Let's fix what we got there now before we start carving out any more projects.
That has not been issued its permit for use,
Yeah, it has not been issued a certificate of compliance
because that's not finished.
because that's not finished. We actually did just come to an agreement on screening with
We're
the
gonna get a
developer.
berm and some trees and stuff
Not a
to...
berm, but we're getting some trees, absolutely.
So, but that's part of our long-term law of creating that so that doesn't happen. But that has been a multi-year process for that developer, and that is one of the last hurdles to jump that has been the sticking point with it.
I'm all for the renewable energy as long as when its the expected lifetime is used up, that we take care of it properly. And we're not putting a burden on the people that have had a vested interest. I mean, 3 years ago, the average house was $200,000. The average house now is $400,000. People can't afford to buy houses, and they're getting this stuck across the street from them. It'd be different if the facility was there first and then developments were put in around it, but these houses are there now, and then we want to stick this in here. Let's make sure that it's not an eyesore for them.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
very good. Is there anybody else that would like to speak on the moratorium regarding solar farms? None being seen, I'll get a motion to close the public hearing at 6:39.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
The next,
No, we have to do all in favor.
oh, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Trying to get ahead of myself with the letters, because I added a couple more. All in favor? Yes. Close the public hearing. The next public hearing, can I get a motion to open the public hearing to extend the Tier 2 battery storage moratorium?
I will move that. I will second it.
Okay. We will open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll open the public hearing at 6:39. Yeah. Is there anybody that would like to speak regarding the battery storage moratorium?
So this is just going to be for industrial, commercial? This is not
Yep,
going
Tier 2.
to involve residential?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, I'm all for the moratorium. I think if we can if we do get a facility and we send the power down to New York City, direct connect where we don't have a battery backup, that's fine. If we do get into where it's battery, you're gonna have a separate way of dealing with the situation when it comes up. It took 3 companies 4 hours to put out a single car fire on 481 last week. I mean, what's it gonna take to put down an industrial facility? So most of the facilities like that are direct connect, like the one they have on Church Road. There's not a battery backup system. So for the most part, I don't think we'd have to deal with that, but you keep your eye on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to comment? Seeing none, could I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move that. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Close the public hearing at 6:41 PM. Okay. Next up on the agenda are citizens' comments. And just so I can add to this, so everybody knows, there were 2 additional motions. Motion O will be to authorize the supervisor to sign the agreement with Bonadio Group to assist in the preparation of the AFR, the annual form financial report for the town of Lysander for the year ending December 31st, 2023. And motion P is to authorize the town supervisor to sign the 2024 agreement for Canton Woods Senior Center, which is between town of Van Buren, Village of Baldwinsville, and the town of Lysander. This is, every year we approve this agreement, we budget for money to be spent toward Canton Woods Senior Center. That being said, is there anybody that has comments?
Fred Burge, Plainville Road. Appreciate again the people from the school coming out, giving us a presentation. And we're cut for time there, so I didn't have an opportunity to express. They did mention of school buses that are 7, 8 years old, and their plan is to replace them before they're 10 years old, before they get too old. I'd like to remind this board, we've got plow trucks that are 14 years old, going on 15 years old. When is there going to be the need to replace the plow truck in a timely manner so that our guys have a competent equipment to work with? 8 years old is not that old.
It does seem to be a sweet spot, though.
Right.
I mean, you have one of your trucks is what, 30 years old, 40 years old, and you're getting it, you're getting by with it. We had discussion about the farm road and the ditch, whether it's town property or not town property. I think a respectable way to go forward with that is to reach out to the homeowners. Make them aware that there's a situation that needs to be addressed. I'm sure they're aware of it. They'd like to come in and talk about it, listen to things that could be done, find out what they want to do.
I did send a letter to everybody out.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And if they're interested, I'll offer my services for free with my equipment to help them remedy their situation. If the town wants to bring some millings, I'll bring my excavator and Bobcat out there and fix it for them. That's just helping out a neighbor. If the town is all worried about taking control of something or what maybe the ramifications down the line, I'll go and help them if they want help. And legally, it can be done. Those people pay taxes. And they don't live in Seneca Estates and don't have a fantastic, setup like everybody, but they're taxpayers. They pay somebody to plow that road in the winter so that they can get in and out. But I think if we brought them in and asked them what they'd like to do and see what their vision is, I think that'd be a better approach than deciding for them without any of their input.
Oh, well, we didn't go out looking at Farnham Road, and, one of the taxpayers reached out to us, and that started this conversation. And this isn't over, this is just,
Great.
this is the path we have to take. This is the legal part of having the town do it the right way from now on, if that's where we end
I
up.
appreciate that. Maybe we might want to invite them in and for a discussion. And we don't want them to pay a lot. Those houses aren't,
Well, it doesn't matter about the house, but they still deserve access to their property.
They deserve access, and if they can get it done for cheaply. I'm a neighbor that lives down there. I'm willing to help them. If legally it can be done, and the town's willing to help out with some millions or whatever, I'm willing to go down there and help them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Citizens' comments?
Yep, Rob Helfrich, 349 Hourglass. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to actually be able to do this and talk about something that I think is probably a lot of other people's minds, and certainly in this community. I just had noticed this week, one of the Facebook sites for Baldwinsville, there was some comments in there regarding the Baldwinsville bypass. And there were about 175 comments to that. I know Jack had mentioned a couple weeks ago that one of the things from a zoning perspective we ought to reconsider, again, is what's going on with the possibility of the Beeville bypass. Interestingly enough, when I do a little research on this, there's actually there's a Wikipedia article on the bypass in Route 631 that gives a little bit of history on what happened. Apparently, just simply ran out of money. All the planning phases were done, but they only had enough money to do that one section. So I don't know what it would take. With the advent of Micron coming in, there's probably going to be significantly more growth and development in this area. There's going to be a lot more traffic. The traffic downtown right now in Baldwinsville is pretty bad. I can imagine what it's going to be, another 10, 20 years from now. And I think that the businesses in downtown Baldwinsville would benefit significantly from a bypass, because then the only people that are actually going down to Baldwinsville are the people that are going down to enjoy Baldwinsville versus just all the traffic passing through. So I think it's something that I don't know. Obviously, it's a state issue, but I think that the town of Lysander can maybe start working with maybe state senators, the DOT, find out what it would take to actually resurface.
If I could say something, Rob, you're absolutely right. And just for the benefit of the audience that's watching this and you as well, we've been in conversation for the last 6 months.
Oh, good.
So it's not a new thing, okay?
Well, I know it's not a new thing.
No, but we've been in conversation, so.
Oh, good. So
It's-
yeah. So
There's a Route 31 corridor study that the mayor, myself are part of, the state, all interested parties, Cicero, Clay, the DOT, everybody, county planning. It's a slow process. I know probably over the summer, they'll start getting to the point where they're having public input time. It's been talked about, but I can tell you currently it's not on the radar, but they also haven't looked at traffic studies. And, it's hard to look at the future. As they'll tell you, when you do traffic studies, you can only look at what's there right now. You can't necessarily anticipate the future unless 5,000 people are going to be living west of west of the village. So it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's been discussed. It gets brought up at every meeting.
Good. That's good to hear, because I think that would solve a lot of potential issues and problems facing, especially downtown.
Right.
Baldwinsville. So that's good to hear. Excellent. So I wasn't aware of any of that. Things
No,
going on
it's
behind the
right.
scenes.
It's not a public.
No. Yeah.
It's not a public thing, so why would people know about
Yeah.
it? But,
It has been mentioned in
oh yeah, it's in our comprehensive plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else for citizens' comments? Okay. Town board comments. We'll start with Councilor Jurassic tonight.
I appreciate folks coming out and waiting for things to actually decide spring is here. He doesn't have to plow anymore.
I've had all my fingers crossed.
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I would also like to thank everyone for coming out, everyone for watching, and I'll apologize because I'm pretty sure it's my fault it snowed again. Because every St. Patrick's Day, I put my snow shovels away and cross my fingers, and it snowed right after they got in my garage. So, my fault. I'm sure spring is coming.
It snowed almost every day, right?
It has.
Since spring started?
Every day.
That's what you get for looking at a calendar. Okay, supervisors' comments. I'll keep them brief, but I attended the county planning symposium last week. There's a lot of good things I'd like to bring to light in the public. I'll do that at the next meeting. Hopefully we'll have more time at the work session. Just to remind everybody, for what little this is worth at this point, Town of Lysander Town Hall, this room is presidential primary early voting. It's pretty much all decided, but we'd still appreciate you to vote. That will be here from Saturday, March 23rd, this Saturday, until next Saturday, March 30th. And then the presidential primary day is April.
What are the hours of that?
It's various hours. So go to ongov.net, look for Board of Elections, go to the link for early voting, and then it'll show you the hours. They run the gambit from 11 to 8 some days, and then maybe other days it's 9 to 6. Yeah, it's various, so, and it doesn't go by day of the week. So
You said March, don't you mean June?
No, this is for early voting, presidential. The presidential primary is starting next week, early voting.
Oh, okay.
The June primaries are for federal, other, president has to be early.
Oh, okay.
It's special. So we have that, go to ongov.net if you see that, and we have been working on the town website. So in the next week or two, we hope to get it live. Our town clerk, Ms. Falcone's been putting in a ton of work on it. She's even trying to train me on uploading items, so. In the next week or two, we're hoping to get that up and live. You should appreciate the new format. Other than that, I don't have anything. Department head reports. We'll go with the pavement management plan last. Mr. Rivazino, do you have any?
No, I don't.
Town clerk?
I'm all set, thank you.
Yeah, all set, okay. Ken or Al, I know we have the pavement, do you have anything else? You're gonna stop, are you gonna start spring? Because that's what I'd like to know.
I'll end up with any questions and button up, but we'll get to the work session because Ellen has the handout with the list and I'll just echo in a pair off of that.
Yeah, that's one. Anybody else need a copy? You can bring one, I have one here for you.
Mine says 3/11/2024.
That's the one.
That's it.
So you'll see our list is not lengthy this year, but we do have some big ticket items on there. The two, so our total funding through the budget is basically $1.2 million. We do have $100,000 in grant funding from CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, which is federal funding. That's added on top of that. So we have just under $1.3 million to spend this year. You know, we got a couple big ticket roads in Loop Road and Glacier Ridge and McLean Drive. McLean Drive and Loop Road are the two roads that have $50,000 each of CDBG grant funding. Glacier Ridge is, boy, this winter wasn't nice to it. The freeze thaw killed it. That piece west of Drake's Landing is really showing its age. So we do anticipate that there will be binder repairs on Glacier Ridge once we get the surface milled off. There is money in this budget to cover those binder repairs that we anticipate will need to be made. Other roads in Radisson that are being done are Billieu and Sumac. Those roads, it's been quite some time since they've had anything done to them. I don't recall anything being done to those since my involvement with the town started about 15 years ago. Lower Kilo is the last piece of asphalt in Holly Hill that needs to be resurfaced, and that's from Warriors Path to Hilton Wood Road. Willow Bend Drive, Glenbrook Drive, Babcock Road, Wheaton Road, Farnham Road, Kibbe Road, and Riverbend Drive are all just stone and oil chip seal treatments. Chatham Woods was paved 8 years ago, I believe, 2016. We're going to do a pavement preservation treatment, which is a cape seal. So you put a layer of chip seal down and then a slurry seal on top of it. It's what we did to the north end of Willett Parkway in 2017, I believe it was. We also did it to the Speech Drive track a few years ago. It's a treatment that has held up very well, and it certainly gives us a bang for a buck in longevity. It really does a wonderful job on hot mix roads.
Do you have to have a different base to do a cape seal compared to the
You
road?
do, yeah. You don't really because the old farm to market roads they move so much. The slurry seal on top would want to crack if you don't have a good asphalt base underneath. So, yes, it's not something that we're gonna do to Dingle Hole, if that's what you're asking about.
I wasn't thinking of that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is this where you're starting McLean Road and then you're ending at Willett, or is this in order?
This is just this is just the whole list. So Loop Road culvert slip lining, we have 3 culverts on Loop Road that need to be slip lined. We're gonna do those before we pave, obviously, just to try to, we don't wanna tear up the road after the fact. They're old corrugated metal pipes, the bottoms are rotted out of them. We do have money into Stripe Drake's Landing and Willow Parkway. Those need to be done. We're gonna try to replace some of the catch basins north of West Entry Road on Willow Parkway as well. That's a continuation of a program we've been working on for a few years. And we have a crack seal budget of $30,000 as well in this year's plan.
Now, I have a question. I don't think we've taken into account any possible grants from the state, correct?
No.
Other than the CDBG, which is local money.
Correct. You know, when we get our state award letter, usually happens end of April, beginning of May, depending on when the state budget gets passed. We have plenty of other work we'd like to do, and we'll probably, you know, fingers crossed, you know, we'll get state touring route money again this year, and we hope to be able to do some additional work once we get that award letter.
I can get that list too for the second one. It's already spelled out. You get the grant money or the touring routes, so I can.
Yeah, we've got a priority list of things that we wanna do.
But this is what we budgeted in
This
the
is what-
2024 budget.
That are
To spend
our top
on.
priorities that we can get done with the money that we currently have budgeted and funded.
Well, the only tangent to this is the conversation we did not finish on for Farnham Road.
Correct.
And I'm not inclined to spend ARPA money to fix that road. I don't know what everybody else thinks. And so you got a couple of possibilities. One is we can keep our fingers crossed, we'll pay for Farnham Road if we didn't get down to that point, which I'm assuming we will, at a contingency, and then see where you end up here with grant money and stuff like that. Or we don't do all of this, or I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but you probably saved a ton of money this winter in terms of operational costs for salt and plowing. Do we want to modify our budget to take care of Farnham Road? I don't want to take Farnham Road out of ARPA, because I think it's easy to just nibble away at ARPA until you have nothing left, as opposed to doing something spectacular with that money.
Yeah.
So you'll see we are advertising for our asphalt, hot mix asphalt bid. We did not, we do believe that the costs are gonna be very similar to last year, so we don't have a lot of escalation in there. But, you know, hope we could be pleasantly surprised and come in a little under budget for our paving bid. So those bids are due back on April 3rd. So at the next board meeting, you know, that's, if we come in, if our paving numbers come in under budget, there may be some additional money right off the top, so.
But if we commit to this, aren't we obligated? Isn't there something we have to sign?
Yes, there is, and you can hold off for 2 weeks if you want. We just need to, if it's not, unless Ken has some urgent need to spend road maintenance money this week. I know he would like to start hauling in stone for chip sealing sooner rather than later, just because it
Just
is.
get the salters out of the trucks.
Yes.
Pete's fault.
Right?
It is.
Everybody in central New York can blame Counselor Moore.
We do have, because we only have one 10-wheel truck right now that we can haul with. If we were only going to haul with that truck, we would need about 15 days of hauling for the stone for the chip seal. You know, hopefully we can get the salters out of the trucks and free up a few more trucks so we don't, you know, put all the load on one truck that is 1981 truck. That is our only truck that we can haul with right now. Yes.
The big one.
Yeah. So
Is there any way to get an estimate, a number on what money wasn't spent because of the mild winter?
Sure.
Because that would help.
I mean, I can find
I
out.
can talk to Colin about it.
I can get with Colin
Yeah,
tomorrow and ask
okay.
him where we're at.
That would help out.
You know, salt wise, you just gotta remember,
Salt,
November and
fuel,
December.
Not just salt, I mean,
Right.
fuel,
Yeah.
yeah.
overtime.
Yeah, we'll look at like year to year for the spring, because you gotta remember, November and December are still in this budget year.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, is the barn still pretty full, or last time I was over there, it looked like it had a good pile in it still?
It was really good until the last
Past
2 days,
week.
but yeah. So,
a side note of this is, you know, last year we received 930,000 of chips, state touring routes, PLP, harsh winter, EWR, right?
Yep.
Is that what that is? So, that's not in this number. I don't expect, that was an amazing to get. We went from 750 to 930 a year to year. We had a meeting with the DOT regarding grant funding and
Yeah.
filling out the paperwork Tuesday. And state touring route will be coming to an end in the next 2 years. The current state budget has cut the funding of state touring routes. We sent a letter hoping that they can get that back in because we depend on that money, as do most municipalities. So we have those numbers not in this total yet, but normally in a worst case scenario year, we usually ended up with at least $500,000 of grant funding to work on.
Well,
those.
no, before they started the state touring routes, we were getting like 225. Before they started the state touring route funding. So if the state touring route funding goes away completely, we would be back to just the chips and the EWR, and it was about 225, that's there.
Okay.
I think she said 2 years.
So, what do you guys feel? Do we want to take $60,000, $58,000 and not continue the road as part of this plan?
Why don't we wait until we get our paving bids back on the 3rd?
Okay.
And then we'll have
Table this.
Right.
You okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
We can table that motion.
but we want to get the bids out for the hot mix. That has no bearing on.
That has no bearing on it. We're gonna bid that. We can reject all the bids if we want to. Yeah, it has no bearing on it, but we do need to advertise for that, to meet our procurement policy.
Okay.
Procurement policy.
Ken, did you have anything, either of you have anything else to add under department head reports?
Thanks.
Just that as far as the pavement management plan goes, we're gonna be proactive in contacting residents, whether or not their street's gonna be done and what's gonna be done to it, so. Other than that, no, we're hoping for a good response out of the vendors we sent the bids to, and we should find out shortly, how close to the mark we're gonna be.
Okay. Very good. Okay, now on to the regular agenda items. I'd like to get a motion to adopt a local law under Article 29 to extend the moratorium on solar farms in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended to September 21st, 2024.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion moved, motion seconded. Discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
When I submit these to general code, I'm just simply saying we're extending this moratorium under Article 29 with the extension date. I don't have to do anything else to the current local law, correct? Just that verbiage that's in the motion, that's it.
Current local law stays as it is.
Okay, so just that sentence to general code and to the local law filing?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion B, I'd like to get a motion to adopt local law under Chapter 102-7 to extend the moratorium on Tier 2 battery energy storage in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended to September 21st, 2024.
I will move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion? I mean, as we had said before, we're putting both of these on the same timeline. We had done these at different, like September and October, or October last year, so they're coinciding with each other. And the state currently has not still given any guidelines on battery energy storage. Any other comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion C, I'd like to get a motion to authorize the town clerk to submit an advertisement for an RFP to be published in the Post Standard for the access control upgrade building security system and the security cameras for the following facilities: 8220 Loop Road, 2730 West Entry Road, and 64 Elizabeth Street. The bid opening will occur on Wednesday, April 3rd at 10 a.m., I'm going to assume.
Yes.
Unless you're coming
Thank you.
in late, Dina,
No.
in the town clerk's office.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion. Discussion.
Well, I assume we're getting bids, but we're not authorizing the work until,
No, we're rebidding it. We hadn't advertised in the newspaper under the first round of bids.
okay, so when they come in, then what?
When they come in, Dina will dispense them to the board, and then we'll decide.
At the next meeting?
Yep.
And remind me, did we budget for this in the 2020?
No, we did not.
All right, so we have to talk about
But
money.
this, and this is a matter of camera systems and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, internal security.
Our system is severely outdated at this
Oh,
point.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be a big number, so I just wanna make
It
sure
will
we're
be.
all.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. I'd like to get a motion D. I'd like to get a motion to waive the pyro permit fee for the Village of Phoenix annual fireworks display on June 28th, 2024.
I will move it.
I'll second it.
Okay? Any discussion? We do this for municipalities, we'll probably end up doing it for Radisson in the summer, that have fireworks, you know, that benefit the community. They set the fireworks off from our side of the river, so that's why they get our permission to waive the fee. Is there any other discussion or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion E, I'd like to get a motion to authorize the town board to sign the, we're gonna table that. Table E. Motion F, I'd like to get a motion to authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids for the 2024 hot mix asphalt paving projects.
Oh, is it my turn? I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Motion G, I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on Thursday, April 4th, 2024 at 6:30 PM to consider a local law amending Town Code Section 295-47 for the installation of 2 stop signs on Quaker Lady Circle. This motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for the same.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Motion H, I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on Thursday, April 4th at 6:30 PM to consider the 2024 CDBG 5-year plan and application. This motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for the same.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Quaker Lady entry.
Discussion?
That's great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Motion I, I'd like to get a motion to appoint Deputy Christopher Badman as security for town hall meetings in town court effective April 1st, 2024, at an hourly rate of $42.23 with a 3-hour minimum charge.
I'll move it.
I will second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Motion K, I'd like to get a motion to appoint Anna Dolan to the part-time seasonal position of summer aid instructor with a start date of April 1st, 2024, at an hourly rate of $15.50 per hour.
I will move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Hearing none. These are just, these next couple ones are just normal appointments for the Parks Department.
Did we do Jack? Did you miss that?
We're doing it now.
Did
I thought we were doing.
Did I say
Anna
K?
Dolan. You said.
yeah, I skipped over.
Okay, we gotta do Joe.
Okay, we'll go back to J. Motion to appoint Anthony Caputa to the part-time seasonal position of summer aide with a start date April 1, 2024, at an hourly rate of $15.50 per hour.
I'll move that.
And I will second it.
Okay? Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Now I'd like to get a motion to appoint Anna Dillon to the part-time seasonal position of summer aid instructor with a start date of April 1st, 2024, at an hourly rate of $15.50 per hour.
I will move that.
I will second that.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion L. I'd like to get a motion to appoint Colleen Natali to the part-time seasonal position of summer aide with a start date of April 1st, 2024, at an hourly rate of $35 per hour.
I'll move that.
I will second it.
I believe the reason for that rate change is because
It's GEMS, I think.
Yeah, that's the GEMS instructor. as they're
GEMS
called.
instructor,
Yeah.
okay. So that is why it's a program we run and. I
We get
believe
reimbursed through the
So
school
we get
district.
reimbursed through the school district. So we have to hire, I believe, a teacher.
Yes, so we abide by the teachers' union contract for a rate, I believe.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion M. I'd like to get a motion to appoint Alicia Callbaum as a part-time laborer in the highway department at the bargaining agreement rate effective February 17th, 2024.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
Well, and this, I'm in favor of this, but this is just to make sure that when she's doing that kind of work, we're paying her as this, as
At
opposed
the
to her
union rate,
her
correct,
full-time job.
to abide with the union contract, correct. And this is on an emergency basis.
Correct.
You know, if we can't get other wingmen, laborers.
Yeah. It's not too, yeah, basically it doesn't occur when it's time to answer phones.
Understood.
Right there. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Motion N, I'd like to get a motion to declare the following item surplus. Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printer, 2200D, tag 776.
I will move that.
I will second it.
Okay, discussion. This printer has served us well in the comptroller's office for over 20 years. At the last date, I should have, Mr. Raleigh was here today, I should have gave it to him, but we hadn't declared it surplus yet. So-
It still works, right?
Oh, it worked.
Yeah, that thing's a tank.
Yeah, it is, and it
It's a
takes
tank.
about 5 minutes when you hit print to put it over to it, and it's 4 feet from you. So that's why
Hey,
we.
sometimes those hamsters are tired.
So, all in favor?
Matrix.
Aye, motion passed. Motion O. I'd like to get a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the agreement with Bonadeo Group to assist in the preparation of the AFR, Annual Financial Report for the town of Lysander for the year ending December 31st, 2023.
I will move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. This is just to help finish up our year-end bookkeeping and our annual report for our new comptroller to be assisted with filing it. And after that, he'll be doing it on his own. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Aye, motion carried. Motion P, I'd like to get a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the 2024 agreement with Canton Wood Senior Center.
I'll move that.
I will second it.
Okay, discussion. This is just an agreement we sign every year. We put it in our budget of how much each town contributes. The village runs Canton Woods. We assist with maintenance, upkeep, and, you know, anything else. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Hey, guys, one thing before you adjourn. So you did give me verbal authorization on the survey piece of the Farm Road project. Because I am using a sub-consultant for that, I am gonna have to have Kevin, the supervisor, sign an EWA authorization for work order, so that I can put it through our accounting system to pay the surveyor. So I don't know if we need to do a motion for that. I mean, it's a pretty small number, but
Tony, would we need to do a motion for me to be able to sign, for him to get the easement paperwork?
No,
I wouldn't necessarily think so.
no, you can just
Okay.
call me.
all right, yeah, I'll email it over to you tomorrow, Kevin, just so you
Okay.
have it. And, I just need it to get it entered into our accounting system.
Yes, yep, no problem. We are going to have a brief executive session. I see 4 matters leading to appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person. I expect no actions after. So can I get a motion to move into executive session?
I will move
At
that.
7:16.
I will say. Sorry.
Okay. And we are now in executive session. All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Sorry. Have a good evening.